Nintendo is taking down my videos. He's got 1.6 million subscribers. I know this might be surprising, but somebody came up with the perfect metaphor for Nintendo. Nintendo is like your amazing, nice grandmother who always cooks you cookies. She cares about your day. She's constantly nice. She's never mean to you. She never yells at you. But she's racist. That's right. That's right. You guys saw it too on Twitter. Yep, but she is racist. That is probably the best way to contextualize, like, my feelings of Nintendo. Here we go.
So, Nintendo has decided to take down my and other content creators' videos. I ask that you watch this whole video so you understand the entire situation.
Okay.
Because it affects you and the content creators that you may support.
Okay.
Also, this is a prepared statement reviewed by my lawyer, so if it seems like I'm reading from a script...
It's because you're reading from a script.
Because I am.
Okay.
My main hope is that if somebody at Nintendo watches this, they will listen to what I have to say and consider reversing the decision to claim these videos. So, hi.
Hi.
I'm Eric, or PointCrow. I make videos playing games, sometimes in strange ways.
That's
But
crazy.
today, it's important for you to know that on occasion, I modify the games I play and explore what happens when the game mechanics are a little different. Most recently, I modified The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to become a multiplayer game. To be clear, I have never encouraged piracy of Nintendo's games. The mods that I've commissioned are not being sold, and all of the code is custom, meaning that they are free.
So, it's clear that Nintendo has the technical right to be able to do this. However, this is what I was saying before about how I really don't like how whenever you buy something, you don't own autonomy over using it. I really don't like this, and I find it to be incredibly unhealthy and bad for individuals. I think that once he buys the game, he is ethically justified to change and alter that game in whatever way he chooses to. It's completely his choice. Like, Nintendo has no ethical, there's no ethical reason why Nintendo should be able to tell him what he can and can't do after he already bought a product. Doesn't own the rights to the content. I don't care about owning the rights because I think that the current version of what owning the rights means is an unethical use of government power to be exercised by corporations over individuals for arbitrary reasons. So I understand that it's against the law. And he will lose this against Nintendo. Nintendo will beat him into the fucking ground because he's 100% wrong legally. But the law is not morality, and the law is oftentimes not ethics either. The law is the law. Yeah, he has no chance. Yeah, no chance. But I totally support him. Nintendo's selling the right to play, not to modify a game. Yeah, I just don't think that they should be able to. I don't think that they should be able to do that. Does that make sense? Like, I understand what the distinction is. I just don't think that this idea of these limited licenses where the consumer pays for something that they then have no autonomy over, I don't think this is healthy for a consumer. And the population is consumers, really, mainly not government, or not these corporations. Why is it that the government is advocating in a way that's hurting the majority of the population in a big way?
Free of Nintendo assets. On April 6th, 1 week ago.
And again, I understand this might be hard for people to understand. I get that he broke the licensing agreement. What I am saying is that I don't think the licensing agreement should hold any weight, and I don't think that should be allowed to exist in the state that it does. Because the truth is that Nintendo is not doing anything. The government is doing it. Because Nintendo can't just take his video off of YouTube. Nintendo does it because the government says if you don't do it, then we're going to punish you. It's the government that's actually doing it. Nintendo is just asking them to do it. The government should just tell them no.
Nintendo decided to block all 4 videos that I put up on YouTube playing the multiplayer mod.
Right.
I appealed their decision, as I'm very much in line with their content guideline policy.
No, you're not. You're not. There's no way. There is no way that they don't say that you're not able to mod the game. It's not even a question. And also, like, it basically, whenever you create an IP, you have pretty much complete autonomy. Let them cook? Okay. All right. Apologies. Okay. All right. I'll shut up.
We'll go over that in a moment. And these videos are fair use. Nintendo then escalated and issued a copyright strike against my YouTube channel.
Right.
Not once, but twice.
Okay.
Rather than bundle the videos all into one copyright strike, Nintendo issued a copyright strike for one video and then bundled the other 3 into another strike, deliberately putting my channel in danger, but not taking it down completely. I was able to get an email address for...
Who knows if they did that on purpose? I think they probably did.
Nintendo. And sent a message asking that we discuss what's going on and try to reach an amicable resolution that would make both parties happy.
That's not going to happen.
I heard nothing back so far.
There it is.
Here's that email if you would like to read it. So the next day, if you would like...
Videos are in alignment with Nintendo's game content guidelines for online video and image sharing platforms and are also protected by the principles of fair use. These copyright takedown notices have put my company and my livelihood in jeopardy. We'd welcome the opportunity to discuss the reasoning behind Nintendo's submission of these notices.
To read it.
Okay.
So the next day, Nintendo claimed 24 more of my videos.
Keep in mind that fair use is a legal defense in court. It's not a preemptive exclusion.
From my channels. Most of them are modded content. A lot of them are Breath of the Wild. But not all of them are. This is key. They also claimed videos containing footage from Super Mario Odyssey,
okay,
the Pokemon series, and Wii Sports Resort from my channel. The most surprising one, though, was a claim from one of my first videos back in 2019, marrying Sidon and a bookshelf to create Hyrule's first car. It's just a regular, vanilla gameplay video of Breath of the Wild. These takedowns aren't exclusive to my channel either. Over the course of the next couple days...
I mean, like, Nintendo does takedowns for everybody all the time. And also, like, you have to keep in mind, too, that there's a good chance that if Nintendo took this guy to court, maybe Nintendo would lose based off of fair use or based off of some sort of agreement, etc. But YouTube is not the law. YouTube has to apply has to comply to DMCA. And if YouTube complies with DMCA, then they just take it down and that's it. DMCA is literally shoot first and ask questions later.
Nintendo is taking down videos from other channels as well. Croton, another very prominent YouTuber, has had at least 10 live streams and 2 videos removed. Importantly, one of those videos is simply a challenge video, detailing how the game would be played if the player decided to explore Zelda with certain restrictions the player has imposed on themselves. These takedowns may have started with modded content, but they have spiraled into something else entirely.
Okay, let's
So now
see.
you know what's happening. At this time, my channel has had 29 videos taken down, 2 copyright strikes, and Nintendo does not seem to be stopping the removal of videos from other creators on YouTube. So let me really levy the importance of this on you, the viewer. Nintendo is sending takedowns and strikes against the creators showing content of their games.
Yes.
It's not just modded content. They've shown that they're striking down regular gameplay videos as well. It's sporadic, and their enforcement of their copyright is...
Well, have there been any examples of them taking down videos that weren't modded? Because, like, this video here, he just explained, right? Like, wasn't the video they just showed... Yes? Okay, well, I mean, let's see if we can look at this chart again. I don't know what this is. Let's see. I mean, these are all modding. Okay, so this one right here.
And Wii Sports Resort from my channel. The most surprising one, though, was a claim from one of my first videos back in 2019, marrying Sidon and a bookshelf to create Hyrule's first car. It's just a regular, vanilla gameplay video of Breath of the Wild. These takedowns aren't exclusive.
The title sounds modded. Yeah, I mean, vanilla means no mods. Okay, I'll let him explain everything.
Not just modded content. They've shown that they're striking down regular gameplay videos as well. It's sporadic, and their enforcement of their copyright is incredibly uneven. The thing is, without even considering fair use, all of these videos are very clearly in line with Nintendo's own game content guidelines for online video and image sharing platforms, which I will include in the description below. I will also read it for you here. From their FAQ, what types of content are acceptable under the guidelines?
Okay.
What types of content are not acceptable? We encourage you to use Nintendo game content in videos and images that feature your creative input and commentary. For example, Let's Play videos and video game reviews are within the scope of the guidelines.
Sure.
However, you may not simply upload a live stream of an existing Nintendo video, gameplay footage without your own creative input, or a copy of content created by someone else. For example, mere copies of Nintendo promotional trailers, tournaments, music soundtracks, gameplay sequences, and art collections are outside the scope of the guidelines.
Got it.
You might argue that modded content is in violation of these guidelines. But historically, that's not the case. The terms of service for The Legend of Zelda says you cannot modify the game. But it also says that you cannot stream it, you cannot make videos of it, and you cannot otherwise broadcast it. Nintendo's game content guidelines changes this, though, by providing a license on top of the existing terms of service, which modifies the terms of service for content creators. All of the videos that they have taken down are in compliance with their own policies. I use Nintendo game content in my videos, and they are all featuring my creative input and commentary throughout the duration of the medium. Now, this is a little scary, because the precedent that they set with this case may apply heavily for their upcoming release of The Legend of Zelda Tears.
So he's actually going to take them to court? Is that right? I mean, he said he had a lawyer reach out for this. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm not really sure. I mean, I hope he does, but like, there's like no shot that's going to work. Like, because the thing is that they don't have to. You can retroactively remove consent to show somebody's of showing a video. Remember how that those people, I think it was called Firewatch or some shit, they did that to PewDiePie after he had the bridge incident on PUBG. So like, there's a precedent for this happening in the past, and I don't know if this is going to be the exact same thing, but I know that there's at least some examples of it.
The kingdom. As per their decisions to take down gameplay and challenge videos alongside the modified content, it'll be difficult for any content creator to post creative concepts without having the fear of Nintendo exercising their copyright over a video that is in line with their own policies. In fact, what they've demonstrated here is that they will ignore their own policies and licenses to selectively enforce their intellectual property. So, if you've uploaded any video that features any Nintendo content, no matter how transformative or directly in line with their published guidelines, you are at risk. Given these decisions,
and again, the reason why this is the case is because the rules are stupid. That's why. Yeah, it's a stupid rule.
To post videos of myself playing Tears of the Kingdom, even with my creative input and commentary, for fear that they will also be taken down. I hope that is not the case. So, what am I going to do? Nothing. I can't do much of anything about this.
Yeah.
Other than plead with Nintendo and move away from this kind of content.
Try to explain it.
My other option is to appeal the DMCA notices and risk a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. So even if I'm in the right here, that risks my channel, my livelihood, and the livelihoods of my team. I don't want to go through that. And I'm left...
Well, that's basically where a lot of people are at, is like they don't want to put themselves in a position where like they could lose tons of money. It's not worth it for them. It sucks, but there it is. They basically bully you out. Yeah, and also, like, it's just that the truth is that the rules with online content creation and sharing media are just so heavily on the side of the media owners that the people who buy the media have effectively no rights for how they want to use it. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair at all. And I said before, I hate this idea of like everything is a license. You don't own anything anymore. It's not good for the user. It's not good for the individual. And I wish more people would realize that. Japan's incredibly strict with IP. That's nice, but like we're not in Japan. I don't care what Japan does. It's not relevant to me. You have this is an American law that's being used. I care about there is an American court system that is making the government, that's making YouTube do this. It's not Japan doing it. Japan isn't doing anything. Japan is simply using the rules that we created.
Questioning the future of the content that I'm allowed to make. So I'm releasing this video, informing you all of what's going on in this community, and using this as an open letter to Nintendo. So here's my explicit message.
I'm sure they'll. I'm sure they'll see this.
I love the games that you make, the stories you tell, the ideas that you explore.
They're gonna see
from
this
giving me the closest moments that I've had with my friends to my mom calling every electronic device I own a Nintendo.
Yeah.
You mentioned in your content guidelines that you are humbled every day by the loyalty and passion for Nintendo's games, characters, and world, and respect that we want to be able to express ourselves creatively by sharing our own videos and images using content from your game. And if you truly respect us and are humbled by this community, don't take this creativity away from us. These channels you've targeted, these videos you're claiming are from some of the people that are most passionate about your games. You're stifling that imagination and punishing those who want to share it with others when they do it in the way that you have outlined for us creators.
He's totally right about all this.
Please remove these strikes and claims, or at least start a dialogue with us so we can figure this out and all move forward with the excitement I'm sure you would love to see about your future games. You have my contact information already from the DMCA and the email that I've sent. I'll be waiting eagerly for your response. So, thanks.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Basically, I think that one of the biggest problems here isn't even a cultural divide, it's a language divide. We're not able to communicate with Nintendo, and Nintendo is not able to adequately communicate with us. So, like, we can't really hear their side of the story, and they can't really hear our side of the story. And this is a massive problem, and it's been a problem ever since Nintendo's existed. And I think it's also been a problem with other overseas developers too. I mean, it's the same thing that's happening with Lost Ark, right? It's like, okay, who do I tweet at Smilegate to have them change something in Lost Ark? Well, it doesn't fucking matter who I tweet at because they're Korean. They're gonna read the words I write. They're like, oh, I don't fuck that is like, and that's it. They're not even gonna take it seriously at all. Nintendo of America is responsible for these takedowns, though. Yeah, but who does Nintendo of America listen to? Nintendo, yes, I understand that Nintendo of America is like, I understand that, like, yes, they're an American company, but that American company is beholden to the Japanese company, Nintendo. Nintendo of America is like a fucking satellite. That's the point that I'm making, is that these decisions are coming down from the top at Nintendo in Japan. I don't think that Nintendo is doing this. I don't think that the American Nintendo is doing this on purpose to other Americans. I think this is again, and you can look at the context of how Final Fantasy handles mods. I think that there are multiple other Japanese games that have extremely strict policies on game modification, enough to the point where you can make an argument that this is clearly a cultural thing that happens in Japan. I think this is fair. Yeah, super against modding for sure. Yeah, I think this is very fair. And yeah, Resident Evil 4, sure. Nintendo's headed by ancient people. Well, I think that the issue also is that those ancient people, we're not able to communicate with those people. Because a lot of the people that are running companies here are also fucking dinosaurs. They're also dinosaurs. But guess what the difference is? We can talk to them. And we can say, hey, you know, this is kind of how we see it. And it's like, if you'd let us do this, it would be more beneficial for everybody. And they're like, yeah, I can see kind of where you're coming from. But whenever you have the people that are in the team of leadership that you literally can't talk to because they don't understand what you're saying, you're going to have problems like this. Because I don't know, like, what would happen if, like, you actually were able to explain this to the Nintendo executives in Japan. Like, you could say, like, hey, this is where we're coming from. This is why we do it. And, you know, if you were to make a case to them, what would they say? And I don't know if we're ever going to be able to do that because they speak Japanese and we speak English. There's a big fucking problem there. So I don't know. Like, I don't think they would care. I think that they would. And that's the thing is, like, I think that in a lot of ways, Nintendo does great stuff. Like, they've made great games over the years. I think they are the only console that's actually added value. Why the fuck do you have a PS3, PS4, or PS5? Because there's special games that you can only play on that. Like, a Wii was a fucking paradigm shift. A Wii U, paradigm shift. A Switch, a improvement on the paradigm shift that the Wii U made. Like, Nintendo is massively innovative. And I cannot believe, and maybe this is just me being a Nintendo fanboy, as I'm sure he is too. I cannot fucking believe that Nintendo, all of that innovation would completely fall flat at a well-reasoned argument for why the way they handle IP stuff here is bad. I can't imagine them hearing the argumentation, seeing the explanations for it, seeing people's enthusiasm, and then still say, oh, well, this is bad. I don't think so, man. They want Disney to control, they want Disney-like control on their image. They wouldn't care. I think that you are probably right with something like Smash Brothers. And I think also, like, to an extent, so I think the reason why Nintendo doesn't like competitive Smash Brothers is they think that it makes the game unapproachable for new players and casual players because there's, like, all these super strong metas and stuff like that. So I do think that's probably why. But I also think that if they were part of the American and, like, English gaming culture, that opinion would change. And that opinion exists because they're completely disconnected from it. And why do I think that? Because every other developer that over the years had a different antiquated viewpoint on these things has changed and moved over to this side instead. Cared about their image, they wouldn't do shit like this. But here's the point, right? Is the people that are making these decisions, like, for example, whenever the Korean Lost Ark fans are upset with me, I don't know this. I just see some Korean text in chat, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And that's it. And you know what I think? I bet the 70-year-old dudes that are running Nintendo do the exact same shit. They see some well-reasoned thing, some fucking guy like this. They're like, oh, he's pissed off. They're, yeah, he's probably hacking our games or some shit. We don't, yeah, whatever. That's what I think it really is. I don't know. I honestly, I think that's what it is. I wish that Nintendo would just have, and I think also the fact that Nintendo of America doesn't really make a lot of statements about this. They don't ever defend this. They don't ever explain it. They don't do really anything. They're just completely quiet about it. And I think that also goes to show that I think it's coming from way above their head. That this is just how Nintendo does things. Let's read a few more comments. The more Nintendo affects their fans, the harder piracy is going to hit them. This isn't defending their IP. This is abusing the position they're in. Well, keep in mind, okay? Nintendo sucks. Fuck Nintendo in this situation. Absolutely. However, they are abusing the position that they are in because the government is doing it by threat of violence. If they will shut him down, they'll make him pay a fine. If he doesn't pay the fine, he might go to jail. That's the difference. So I again, like, it is Nintendo, but the government is making this happen. The government is God here. Nintendo is not God. Nintendo is asking the government to do something. But the government is saying yes. They're the ones with all the power, even if Nintendo's acting in bad faith. It shouldn't matter because the government should be there to counteract that. Keeps a 6-year-old game relevant, hyped, and causes tons of people to buy and play the next Zelda on release. Nintendo stopped that. Again, they just don't understand. One major thing you need to do before this escalates further, block the video for Japan. They have much stronger rights holder laws, copyright. They'll sue you out of Japan. You don't have a stronger case. I don't know if you can get sued in Japan and there's like an extradition over there for like a civil suit like that. I kind of assume there's not, but I don't know. That's way over my fucking pay grade. I have no clue about that. He's probably right. Nintendo truly king of left field decisions. Exactly. And that's why I think this is just a massive fucking communication error. Thanks for all the hard work, Eric. Nintendo makes enough money. They should thank you for the free publicity that you provide them. Well, I think that it's more than that. I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship for everybody. And I think also, like, if, like, he's not hurting them, so why can't he do it? I think that's what matters. If there's no copyright laws, no corporations to make anything original. Oh, I totally agree with you that there should be copyright laws. Like, we just talked a little bit about why piracy was bad. So I totally agree that copyright laws are important, but there's a pendulum that copyright laws exist on, and on one side of the pendulum, it's the companies, and on the other side of the pendulum, it's the individual. And all I'm saying is that that pendulum is too far in the company's side. That's all I'm trying to get at. Let's see here. Some random guy, love your content. I guess that's a new Zelda. I forgot even what it's called. Right on the Corner should be an excellent game for community as a whole. Brutal Man, understanding the decision of Nintendo makes it feels impossible. Sometimes great loss for everyone. Hope they reverse the decision. Yep, definitely fucking true. Let's see here. Love the wild things you do on this channel, man. Hope there's a way forward. Yeah, I really hope Nintendo, one day they're going to be able to have a communication. They're going to be able to communicate with people. Furukawa, the current CEO of Nintendo, was the one who made creators pay Nintendo 40% of earnings during the start of the Switch era. And now he's officially in full control of the board of Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo had a draconian content creator policy on YouTube where they would take a huge amount of the earnings that people would make on Nintendo videos. However, they don't do that anymore. That's progress. If we could talk to that guy more, maybe we could change things. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I know that things are not good now, but like, let's improve things. Let's continue having a dialogue and improve things. I don't think anybody really, like, personally, most of us here, we don't want to shit on Nintendo. I love Nintendo. Nintendo is the only developer that I have every single console for. I have bought every single Nintendo console, and I have never missed a Nintendo console. And guess what? Now they're doing this. It's sad. Because I think that everybody knows that, like, if you could make Nintendo content with a little bit less restrictions, I think a lot of people would really appreciate it because so many people grew up with it. So the NES, well, that was before my time. Even the Wii U, absolutely the Wii U. I watched Tri-X play Mario Maker, and I drove down to fucking Walmart. I bought the Mario Maker exclusive Wii U. I even have the little me thing where he's like a pixelated block. Yep, I watched Tri-X play. Dude, those were the best fucking streams. I'm even watching Moon play it sometimes at night now. Like, yeah, I think it's fucking great. I love it. I thought the Wii U was amazing. Now, they made mistakes with the marketing of it, sure. But, I mean, Sega Saturn had the same thing happen back in the 90s. It's not really the first time that's ever happened. So I understand why someone would defend Nintendo's actions here. I think that a lot of times people are defending what they think. There are many people who, in their mind, the law is what's right. So whenever something is against the law, it's wrong. And it's unfortunate that people have like a very one-dimensional view on things, but that's the reason why they think that. Do you think a business that has a major presence in the U.S. doesn't learn English, though? I think that there's obviously a communication barrier between having open and honest conversations with people that are like in Japan. I do think that it matters. Like, you're not going to tell me that not being able to talk to the leadership doesn't matter. Absolutely, it fucking matters. 100%. It's not a communication culture thing too. Yeah, I know. I think one of the best things about the internet is that it allows different cultures to take from each other and to create the best like meta culture possible. Like, I think that's a great thing. It's one of the best things about the internet. It does. Cultural difference, way of thinking. Oh, true. Cultures are different. Absolutely. Why do you think leadership of a huge company would want to talk to us? I think that I think that if the Nintendo executives were able to just magically put in some fucking brain chip and listen to English and understand what we're saying, I think they'd want to hear what we had to say. I do. Absolutely. 100% they would want to hear what we have to say. If for no other reason, then they want our fucking money and we want to give it to them. It's in their best interest. Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy.